I'm so excited to have you for IB English this year. I wanted to take a little time to go over some of the curriculum and procedures that might help you throughout the year. First, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what we'll study this year. The primary focus is on world literature. However, with every world literature work, we will try to compare it to a work that was written in English. Some of those works are British and some of those works are American. The texts that we will be studied include A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. He's an American author. Poems by Simon Armitage, who is from Britain. Short stories by Louise Erdrich, who is from Minnesota. Essays by Isabel Wilkerson. She is from the United States. Revenge by Yoko Agawa, who is from Japan. Short stories of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, who is from Colombia, and Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, who is from Spain. You do have one assessment this year for IB. It's kind of nice because then you get some of that curriculum taken care of and your senior year will be a lot less stressful. So in the end of May or beginning of June, we will do an individual oral presentation, otherwise referred to as the IO. This presentation is 15 minutes total. You will have 2 extracts that you talk about based on one of the works that we studied, or actually 2 of the works that we studied. One of the works has to be a translated work, and the other work has to be a work that was written in English. You will tie those works together by a global issue, which is sort of more general than a theme, more like a topic rather than a theme. You will spend 5 minutes on the first extract talking about how language structure, technique, and style shape the meaning of the work relative to the global issue. And then you will spend 5 minutes on the second extract doing the same. And then we'll have a 5-minute discussion. Each extract can be 40 lines, but it's recommended that it's less, more like 25 lines, because that's just too much text to work with for such little time. And then your senior year, you have one essay to write, and then you have your test in the spring, which is 2 days. The first day you write a commentary on a text you haven't seen before, actually 2 texts you haven't seen before. And then the second day is an essay comparing a component of the works you studied throughout your senior year. So again, to get ready for that IB oral presentation, your focus is on that main prompt, which is how does language structure, technique, and style shape meaning? So everything we do will be to try to get that understanding in the text. Some general procedures and policies that I'm hoping you enact so that you're more successful. First of all, hopefully you have a device and solid Wi-Fi. If you're having issues with either, please make sure that you let me know or your connections advisor or the technology department. I would assume headphones would be helpful, just I know I need them for my home, so maybe also for you. And then also even, hopefully if we're in school, you might want them as well. You will want a notebook and a pen or pencil to be able to write down information, directions, and whatnot. Please make an IB English folder in your Google Drive, color it yellow, and star it so it's easy to find. And you may want to purchase or print any of the text materials to highlight and take notes on, because you might use one of those texts, all the way in May. It might help you, but it's not required. When I make videos, please make sure you watch and take notes on those videos. Each of the screencasts that I make take multiple takes and often at least an hour to create, and they're there for your benefit. So please watch and listen to each one carefully and take notes as you go. Whenever possible, I will have quizzes to go with the videos to help you stay focused. For our synchronous sessions, please do everything you can to join and actively participate in these sessions. I've tried to give you a sort of carrot in order to get you to actively participate. So if you do join and actively participate, that means that you are asking questions, you are speaking, etc. Then you will be allowed to omit your questions, reflection portions of the weekly assignments. So hopefully that will entice you to be there. So again, for our Google Meets, please join. Whenever possible, have your video on. It, number one, sort of forces you to be more engaged. Number two, more importantly, it really helps me get to know you. If I can see your face and then I can make the correlation between your name and your face. This year we're starting out in distance, and so I don't know you already. And so I'd really like to have that opportunity. Please participate and participate either by using the chat box, but use it appropriately, or just, turn on your mic and pop in. Okay. And I'm pretty relaxed. So if you have a question, you can kind of jump in the middle of things if you need to. As for your assignments, as with every other class, your assignments will be due every Wednesday at 7 a.m. And if you have issues with that, if maybe you're not, maybe there's an assignment that you're late on or something like that, you'll have 1 week to turn it in for a 10% penalty on your grade. And then after 1 week, we will have really moved on so considerably that it's just impossible to go back and grade those things past that point. And it would behoove you to be focusing on what we're doing in the moment. And then also, if you don't follow instructions, you will also have a 10% penalty. So things like if you're over the word count, if your link isn't done appropriately, those sorts of things. This is in keeping with IB's strategy as well. They usually have about a 10% deduction for anything that is either over time limit or over the word count, those sorts of things. That penalty won't apply to things under the word count because you'll already have the penalty for lack of development based on the rubric. So that brings us to the rubric. Because IB rubrics tend to be extremely rigorous, I will employ the following kind of grade accommodations. So based on the mark schemes that IB comes out with per year, I have developed the following sort of equation. So if your score on the rubric would equate to a 7 in IB, then your score in our system will be 105%. So you can earn extra credit. If it would be a 6, that would be considered 100%. If it's a 5, that will be considered 95%. If it's a 4, it'll be 85%. A 3, 75%. A 2, 65%. And a 1, 60%. And redos are often possible on more significant assignments as well. So what does that mean? Well, it really means that for all of those assignments that the rubric will be applied, it benefits you to just do your best and turn it in. The worst score you could get is a D- if you turn it in complete and correctly done. And the likelihood would be that you would be somewhere at least above a 65% just for completing the assignment. So even if you don't know, give me your best guess and you'll do very well in class. Kind of jumped ahead. So turn in your complete work on time to your best ability and you will do well. Make sure if you're having any issues, you communicate with me. And that will kind of go back to like the late assignment. If you have Wi-Fi issues, if your computer breaks down, that's a totally different world than you just didn't get a chance to do the assignment because you procrastinated or something like that. So please, please, please communicate. And then in the meantime, be patient. This is a new world for all of your teachers and for you, right? So be patient with yourself and others. Be flexible, both with yourself and others, and then communicate. I'm so excited for this year, for us to study world literature and hopefully discover some global issues together. Take care.